Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me?
Can I be heard? I'm wondering if I can be heard. Okay. Cool. Cool. So I'm going to be explaining Monster because I've had multiple people recently ask me about Monster and what he can do and what he can't do. Um, I mean, I can't really explain Monster without, kind of like explaining what he can do without explaining his like anatomy, what his powers and abilities are, and his like power scaling. Um, Hello Audrey, welcome to chat. um, so some people have asked me like if he could be like Superman or Goku, stuff like that. Like I will get into that eventually, but I do kind of want to kind of explain what he's doing, like what he's able to do, stuff like that. Yeah, I've got a few characters people have asked me about. Uh, once we get like started, like actually playing. Okay. So people sometimes ask like, okay, what Monster can do, right? This is one I like explaining because Monster is so unique. Um, so Monster has something called hemochromatosis, which is basically an overload in iron. He has an advanced form of it, right? And this advanced form is like super powerful. Like, um, he has like a bronzed skin tone. He gets tired easily because of it, and this will come in when we're like pitting characters against each other. Oh, great! When we're pitting characters against each other, so um, he has like it makes everything in his blood just redder, like anything like any fluids, anything like that, just makes it more red. It's Sea Monster's favorite color is red, as that was stated in, or hinted at rather, in the first part of his backstory, which I originally wrote when I was really young. So do check that out if you want. His backstory also hints that he has hemochromatosis and some regenerative abilities, like quote, "Good thing I can't die. Good thing I can't. I'm so hard to kill." He said that when he was hit by a volcano cannon from a salvaged Emperor Titan in a fight with space orcs. But to be fair, the salvaged Emperor Titan's weapon systems were, so dang it, partially broken, and of course these are space orcs. They aren't very smart. They don't. They just as long as it works, they're happy, right? Because I believe, therefore I is. um. So yes, his hemochromatosis. When he regenerates, it gives him, bro. Oh god. Audrey. No, having a lot of iron. You think Monster's autistic? Oh goodness. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I could see that. He's he's just an autistic boy. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense now. No, he okay. So he has dark red saliva, urine, all that good stuff. This mutation forces his body to expel the iron through cuts, lacerations, and slashes. The iron near immediately solidifies when exposed to oxygen. It imitates the shapes of barbed wire, chain links, surgical tools, equipment, like construction tools. It's sometimes unrecognizable shards. It does this through a form of muscle memory, and if anyone knows what muscle memory is, like Audrey, I think I've explained to you what muscle memory is, and why Monster has such control over his through his trauma, because of his, obviously his muscles in his mind, but it manifests through his blood cells, which is where his iron is located. And so when his blood cells carry the oxygen and iron around in his body, and the cuts open up and his blood gets exposed, and the oxygen expels and the iron mixes with the oxygen and solidifies and rusts over, which is where he gets his rust effect from when he touches things. If he has an open cut on his body, that like metal stuff rusts over or corrodes. If he touches copper, it oxidizes. So I swear. Again, I mentioned his regeneration. He has extremely severely mutated forms of healing. He claims it is genetically passed down from his biological father. This advanced regeneration is activated when bone or tendon is severed. It recreates skin cells at 14,000 times the same rate as a healthy adult male human. These cells are not Sergal cells, but rather identical to human cells. It's a biological deformity. The appearance of the regeneration is usually a mix of fingers, toes, forearms, tendrils, and hands. So it's really grotesque looking. This paired with hemochromatosis can create massive biomechanical appendages in place of losing a limb. The appendage rots off after a few hours, of course, replaced by an exact replica of the lost limb. So he can make giant saws, stuff like that. I think there may have been... Yeah, like Audrey just said in chat, the high iron symptoms are diabetes, but the strong immune system, which is why Monster is... Monster has heart problems, of course, but they aren't... Since he has over-regeneration, they aren't enough to damage him, at all. So, they just really tire him out quickly. That's why he tries to... When he's fighting... he usually just tries to get it over with because he can get tired extremely easily, which is why when we get to like the can he fight Goku, can he fight like Doomslayer, oh my goodness gracious, that's gonna come up, because they have a lot of stamina and like durability. He has oxygen poisoning as well, which means Monster's body produces its own oxygen, and it was his body's attempt to adapt to living in outer space while he was a space marine, and it produces too much oxygen, forcing his body to push it out through his pores, which surrounds him in a constant flow of oxygen that rusts over metals, oxidizes alloys, rusts his hemochromatosis, destroys fumes caused by harmful bacteria as well, and drugs. It makes him extremely flammable, though, but fire only seems to singe his fur and not really burn his skin due to his over-regeneration. The most important thing that we should be talking about isn't his, oxygen power, it's or his regeneration in general, or his rust effect, or over ironing. It's the atomic reconstruction, which is Monster's atoms. They create themselves, and they do it using chaos energy when he got lost inside of a chaos portal. So yeah, like Audrey said, too much blood can lead to cancer. Monster expels blood through his mouth. He throws it up a lot, which, I mean, his teammates have gotten used to. Let's see, we have, yeah, back to Monster's atomic reconstruction. It makes him impossible to destroy, basically, or he can't be deatomized, he can't evaporate, he can't just be permanently gotten rid of. It keeps him from being contained or trapped, as he can reconstruct himself in another location, or even a separate dimensional plane or another universe, or realm of existence entirely, which is another thing when they say, like, Doomslayer and Goku fighting them, because they can't kill him. Like, even if, like, Beerus used his Hakai and just eradicated him from existence, Monster's atoms would just recreate themselves into existence, because they can't be destroyed. I mean, Audrey, I've already been, like, done this. I've been doing research for, like, I think 6 years now. Monster's been alive for a while, and I had to do scientific research in China to just put him in, like, a, you know, like an area of scientific possibility. But thank you, Audrey. Oh, dearie me. Yo, I'm tired of falling, bro. I'm tired of falling. Well, now that we have explaining Monster out of the way, I'm gonna play, like, actual game. Return to lobby. I'm not gonna say it on live stream, chill. Okay, so the first thing Monster was gonna be fighting is Doomslayer, which is some random anti-freak was talking to me, and we honestly started getting along and stuff after he realized that Monster was a, you know, really powerful character. He kind of liked Monster. He did not. he wasn't an anti-furry for long. I kind of transitioned him over to the light side, if you will. So the Doomslayer, as I explained to the guy, the Doomslayer is honestly an easier target for Monster, probably one of the easiest ones on this list. Doomslayer is probably the easiest target on this list for Monster to fight. Being as Monster's power is, you just can't be destroyed, and Doomslayer relies on brute force and not, like, speed or anything, and Monster can adapt to damages. He can adapt to, like, 2 things at once, which is his main, like, ability. And honestly, I mean, it would last for quite a while, but it wouldn't last. I'd say the fight itself would last maybe about 20 minutes at the most. The main thing is Doomslayer. I mean, if we're giving him all his weapons that he's gauged, including the ones from Dark Ages, Doomslayer has his shield. But the main thing that he's probably going to be using against Monster, since it's an energy weapon instead of a metal weapon, is probably going to be what, the Crucible. That would probably be the only thing in his arsenal that really damages monster without being damaged itself. Oh my goodness, I have an army on top. Chill, chill, chill. Back off. Stop spit roasting me. I'm coming for you next, Holmes. Stop. I will gut you all. Come on. Star Wars has not died, honestly. Star Wars is the GOAT. I just realized I had a lightsaber on this whole time. So the Crucible being the Doomslayer's preferred weapon of choice here, he's probably gonna figure out too easily that when he's using his axe, I mean, not his axe, his like guns and his shield, that they aren't working on Monster because of Monster's rusty regeneration. And the rust effect. Nah, if I had a lightsaber, it would be red. Oh, of course, red. I'm a Sith all the way, bro. What was he doing? What was he doing? What did he think? So Doomslayer would realize that Monster's not taking any real like damage. He's just healing up from the That's right. That's because I'm the best. I need to go in streamer mode before I end up absolutely getting melted by copyright. There we go. So Doomslayer's weapons would probably be damaged by Monster's rust effect. So, hold on. Let me go to my locker real quick and take. Okay, cool. Got some more outfits in the shop today. I might have to check them out before I go back into a game. I'll put these back on later. Let me see what's in shop. I don't have any V-Bucks on my account right now, but ooh, you gotta get Swifty. Let's see. Cool, they got the Space Myth skin. Is that all the new stuff? They call that K-pop Demon Hunters crap. Next birthday gift. Oh, the stuff's leaving. I should have gotten Jax. I mean, just look at him. He's even got his tail. They got the shark skins. Dang, they got all the shark skins. Okay, okay. Nah, but my sail shark is better. Yes, they had a gummy goose skin on the... But my shark is better. My shark is better. My shark's better. You know, I've never ever seen this skin anywhere other than, like, on me. Oh, I was talking about Monster versus my ADHD, y'all. I'll be getting crazy ADHD. So, Monster's rust effect would be destroying Doomslayer's weapons, and Doomslayer Yes, Audie, I still want your Godzilla and Santa Snoop Dogg. What? Of course. Um, Doomslayer would realize his weapons are being destroyed and probably bring out the Crucible to face the Rust effect because the Rust effect wouldn't work on the Crucible since it's an energy weapon and it's a blessed holy weapon, of course. So, um, I mean, in this case, it's a blessed. I don't know if it actually is, but I do know that he probably wouldn't like it probably wouldn't work as well if it wasn't. So we're gonna give the benefit of the doubt to Doomslayer here and say it is a blessed weapon. Um, Monster would probably be pretty damaged by this, but once again, he can usually adapt to at least two different types of like damages. So the radiant, I would assume radiant damage that's coming off of the Doomslayer's sword and axe would be radiant damage since it's an energy weapon. And Monster would be getting damaged by them for a while, but until Monster started healing and combating it with his adaptation technique, he would definitely be. Maybe with that red sword, okay. He would definitely be. Oh my god, bro, I am not Mysterio. I ain't Mysterio. I had the Mysterio skin on another account. Account was disabled a while back. Bro got. What is bro doing? I'm just gonna go mess bro up. Meow. What are you doing, Jack? Goodbye. Monster would adapt to the energy on the two things that Monster can't actually adapt from will be the divine energy. Yeah, I'm better than you. Get up, get up, get up. Fool, think you can get away from me. Nobody can get away from me. Great, nothing. So Monster would probably eventually destroy. Ah, fellow furry, I'm sorry. Okay, so Monster would take out that, but of course the divine energy radiating off of that weapon would probably continue to hurt Monster. But since Monster can adapt to divine energy, he would probably use his regeneration technique, and that would probably catch the Doomslayer off guard due to its just high strength boost that Monster gets. So you're dying before me. I ain't doing that. Aw. Nah, you ain't the reason we always lose in Fortnite. The reason we lose in Fortnite is because my stupid butt can't pay attention. Okay, monster using his regeneration technique would probably eventually take Doomslayer completely off guard. That'll give him like a surprise kind of effect. So the strength being put off of monster onto Doomslayer from that point, as soon as he uses that, would probably knock him cold. Because I mean, if we're just assuming monster isn't using any of his weapons yet, like his, regenerated arm, his cannon or his saw, we're probably gonna talk about like just pure blunt force trauma, and monster could definitely break Doomslayer's armor. And I know it's supposed to be indestructible. It's not. It's not. I mean, I've played the hardest difficulty of Doom. Don't be hitting me with that. It's supposed to be indestructible crap, because it's not. So monster probably dealing with the hardness of it. He'd probably end up winning anyway, because of his just pure unbridled strength when it comes to his regeneration effect, which gives him a damage boost and a survival boost, I think, because it makes his instincts go off like crazy, right? And monster would use that strength, probably crush Doomslayer's armor, and then probably eat Doomslayer to just seal the deal. I mean, again, this fight, like I said, would probably last about 20 minutes, at most. The next characters a friend suggested was Ladybug and Cat Noir, which I think would be a fun fight for Monster, probably due to the goodness of Ladybug and Cat Noir, and Monster's not really just evil, but definitely like chaotic attempts to destroy everything that moves. Probably we haven't talked about it. So spoilers ahead. When Rima does die in the canon, and Monster goes through a lot to try and get her back. So if Monster were to, for any reason, go fight Ladybug and Cat Noir, it would be to get the miraculous of the cat and the Ladybug, so he could wish her back to life. Same thing with Cat Noir's father, Adrian's father. I don't remember what his name is. The aggressed father. I don't know. Audrey, help me out here. Who was Adrian's father? I know he died. You've never seen Ladybug and Cat Noir? Miraculous Tales, anything like that? Hawkmoth, the father of Cat Noir. You know, he did it. Anyway, he wanted to revive his wife when she died, so he became Hawkmoth and tried to get the Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous. Because if you get Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous, you everything. That was so disrespectful. I just went to my inventory and dropped that mid-fight, and then dropped him. Get out of here, Flanders. Adrian aggressed. You do be hot like Adrian though. Um, so when it comes to power scaling, Ladybug and Cat Noir, we have a lot. We have a lot to talk about. Since Ladybug has her miraculous ladybug, or not her miraculous ladybug, her lucky charm, that one. She could probably like get a clue as to what would hurt Monster, but nothing that could actually hurt him enough to stop them from to stop him from, you know, eating them. You're like Adrian Agrest from Miraculous Tales. Yo, he be hitting different in the last few seasons though, for real. Look at that man. That is a beautiful young man. He almost as beautiful as me though, but not for real. Alright, yeah, but still. He got them green eyes though. The green eyes give it out. Oh, you turned real quick, didn't you, once you found somebody else was shooting you in the butt? Yo, I'll be third partying on Blitz Royale, I can't even lie. I just walk up into a fight and be like, hi, I'm gonna kill you now. So the Lucky Charm is something Monster would have to look out for here. I can't tell if that person's a bot or if they're a person. Oh look, they're a bot, definitely a bot. So the Lucky Charm is something Monster would have to look out for. Also, the claw. No, was it Cataclysm. Cataclysm is what Monster would have to watch out for as well. And by the way, I'm not putting any limiters on Ladybug and Cat Noir. I'm just gonna let them have infinite uses of their powers in this fight. Like they do, they kind of have infinite uses in their. Don't kill me. Good luck. Good luck. Give me that banana. Give me that. Oh, if I'm having to choose between you or that, Adrian, I'm choosing you. No deal. Okay, so Monster would eventually probably get used to the Cataclysm, but it wouldn't hurt him forever. I mean, again, he can generate from anything, like anything. But Monster would probably overcome that as well using his adaptation effect. So the adaptation effect would probably just if he used Cataclysm while he was adapted, he'd probably just make Monster mad more than anything. Yeah, that would probably make him mad more than anything. Monster go crazy when he mad. So he would probably take out Cat Noir first, using his Rusty Regeneration effect from the Cataclysm. Turn around? What you mean turn around? I ain't turning around, no way. There's somebody in front of me, and that's who I'm worried about. There we go. No, I ain't worried about him anymore. Oh. Mm-hmm. Go to sleep. Hey, where you going, huh? Where do you think you going, huh? ain't going nowhere, honey. So, Monster using his generation effect, it'd probably make the Ladybug fight a little bit different, losing Cat Noir like that, cause you know, like how Goku went Super Saiyan the first time. Krillin, no! And so she'd probably start laying some hands on Monster for a good minute or two until Monster adapted to that, and then Monster would put her out of business. To say, just say, put it that way. Monster would knock her out and then take her miraculous, probably. Monster doesn't have like a no-kill rule or anything. The next is Goku. This one's the one that Monster might not actually win. He might actually lose to this one. I'm just saying, man, he might lose. Oh no. Well, before we get to he might lose, no, let's talk about why. Like, I used to be a stickler about Goku, and then I started like watching some of the stuff he did, and I'm like, this man is crazy. No one on this channel knows about BB yet, but I think Audrey, you and Heather are the only ones who know about BB's actual like power. I think Goku's like full. If Goku put his mind to it, he might actually be able to fight BB. Like, I feel like Goku is the character that BB wouldn't be able to just snap out of existence. You know what I mean? I'd be glazing Goku for real though. Monster, I mean, I'd be glazing Monster twice as much, but still, Monster would probably have a really hard time fighting Goku in the first part of the fight. Oh, this person know what's up. No, you ain't gonna get me with that. Aw, oh, son of a... Good game, though. Good game, for real. Good game. I usually be getting at least 3rd place. That's the first time in a long time I've gotten 12th place. Or anything beyond 3rd place. Good player, good player. Okay, Goku versus Monster. Goku would win. I'm just gonna go out and say it. Goku would win. Not out of, like, he wouldn't kill Monster. Like, the Hawkeye can't even kill Monster. But he would definitely make Monster tired to a point where Monster wouldn't want to fight anymore. Which is crazy, because Monster's so ungodly strong. But, yeah. Yeah, Monster would not last very long in a fight with Goku. Because, if we're power scaling, again, Monster is a world level in power, unless he goes full crazy, which makes him like a universal in power. Full crazy. What the? I don't know if anybody else saw that. I saw that. Okay, calm down, Solid. Calm down, Solid. Cause you're 1 years away. Cause you're dead. So yeah, that Goku fight with Monster wouldn't last. On Monster's side, because Monster. I mean, isn't Goku a multiversal level character now, or am I tripping? I think he's multiversal, because he didn't Beerus have to take him to the void dimension? What? What do you mean shark? What about a shark? What are you talking about? So Goku would definitely eventually like just tire Monster out to the point where he couldn't fight anymore. There's a couple other characters on the list who could do that. The next character, okay, obviously Goku could beat. That's where we stand off. Goku could beat Monster, but he couldn't kill him. The next character somebody asked is Siren Head. Could Siren Head beat Monster? I'm like, dude, no way. And the reason I said that is because Monster has this ability, or well, it's more like a. This man's running. Not for long. Can't run forever. Monster has the ability to sea geometry. So Monster, night. Sleep well, okay, bro? So Monster has this ability when he hears a siren, it makes his PTSD go off the charts, and it sends him into his crazy mode, right? It sends him into his awesome crazy mode. So what Monster does in that case is, of course, he gets his universally strong power scale. Siren Head wouldn't stand a chance. Siren Head wouldn't last like 10 seconds in that fight. Monster would just rip off his own limbs, get bigger, and just turn into Super Monster and then tear apart Siren Head. But Siren Head's durability is like, I don't care what you say. Siren Head ain't nothing compared to Monster. Now, if we want to fight Trevor Henderson Monster's Cartoon Cat and Monster in a standoff, that would leave. So Monster would last. Dang. Monster would last about. That was smooth. That was a smooth fight. So Monster would last. He would get tired. He would get tired, but Cartoon Cat couldn't really damage him. Toon Force doesn't. Toon Force doesn't affect Monster because, I mean, why would it? His atomic level constructs at an overly regenerative rate. Monster would get tired of fighting Cartoon Cat, and then Cartoon Cat would probably torture him for a while, and then Monster would be like, you know what, screw this. And not out of fear, just out of torpor, like stamina depletion. The next one is Godzilla. This one was requested by Inconspicuous, old friend of mine. So Inconspicuous is really into Godzilla. He said, so could Monster beat Godzilla? Yes. That's the short version. Yes, Monster could definitely beat Godzilla. But he asked later if Monster could beat Shin Godzilla, and now we are talking, since Shin Godzilla is completely on a different level than Godzilla. Like, if we're talking like, I'ma snipe you out. Through a tree I sniped him out. Did you see that? It took a minute to load in, too. Okay, so Monster and Shin Godzilla will be going for a while. Since Shin Godzilla is pretty slow for a big creature. And we're gonna give Shin Godzilla the benefit of the doubt of having, like, full, like, I mean, all of his stuff that we see in the movie, and like you know that last scene that he has? Why are you trying to snipe me? Everybody knows I'm the sniping master. So, Shin Goji would have his, you know, his breath. You ain't gonna kill me. You know better than that. Anyway, Shin Godzilla would probably beam Monster a few times, and Monster would adapt to the energy field, and that would take somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes of being beamed in the face. Monster would have to adapt to it, because, I mean, let's be honest, Shingaji has, like, really strong beam. Bloodbath Godzilla, or so far of what I've seen of Bloodbath Godzilla, could probably hurt Monster a bit before Monster had a, like, real chance of destroying him. Atomic bomb, like the Mushroom Cloud Godzilla from the analog horror, that would mess Monster up. That would mess Monster up pretty bad, since it is an atomic bomb. Nah, bro, you ain't getting away. Yeah, Monster would probably be damaged pretty bad from that atomic blast. Let's see. Yeah, Monster would definitely. It would take a while, but Monster could beat the Godzillas. Saitama. A friend suggested this one to me. Saitama. Could Monster beat Saitama? Personally, I think Saitama is overrated. I've seen the entire series so far of One Punch Man. I think I've seen some Goku versus Saitama. Yes, Goku could beat Saitama. Don't even start with that crap. Goku could hand Saitama his butt, bro. Saitama would probably lose in about 30 minutes fighting with Monster. And the reason I say that is because Monster can adapt to that blunt force that Saitama is putting out, because that's all Saitama. That's his, like, all he does is punch. But for real, let's be honest. And when Monster adapts to those punches, and he can't be hit by that no more, he has about a 10-minute window. Saitama has about a 10-minute window to start punching the heck out of Monster. But Monster's gonna eventually adapt to those punches, and they can't be used on him anymore. And then Monster just has to, go crazy mode, and then upgrade his strength until he's able to beat Saitama. See, it's not in the canon, but if we're giving Monster all of his powers from every, like, alternate universe that he's been in, we have to give him Kaioken, which he can multiply infinitely. So, when Monster uses Kaioken, I mean, obviously you get a speed boost from Kaioken, and I think it was a strength boost, if I'm mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't really know a lot about Kaioken. It's only used, like, a few times in Dragon Ball. So, Monster can multiply that infinitely, and I know there's a speed boost, so if Monster could just, like, blitz past the speed of light, I mean, for a for a bit of context when it comes to like what is the speed of light? The speed of light, a grain of sand moving at the speed of light would go through Earth, absolutely completely obliterate it, probably destroy the sun, could probably destroy the entire solar system. I mean, it's just moving so incomprehensibly fast. You know what I mean? This guy's like, you ain't that guy. So a monster would, I mean, he would just go Kaioken. Probably Kaioken times about 20 trillion, maybe. And just blitz through Saitama from that. But if we're not counting Monster, would use powers, Monster would use his strength adapter. And probably get a little bit stronger and stronger and stronger every time Saitama punched him due to his adaptation. Basically an SCP-682 thing, once you use one thing on it, you can't use another thing. I mean, you can't use the same thing, you have to use something different. You have to use another thing. Monster does that a lot. He has that ability, but it only lasts for a little while. It's about 30 minutes. I mean, he can obviously reconstruct that ability when it is used, or when it is depleted. But Monster would... Oh snap. Oh snap. Oh my gosh. That guy was super good. My bro's down there. I'm just gonna come over here and snipe you from this tree, bro. That was easy. Yeah, Monster would probably use his adaptation and destroy Saitama with his, like, strength. He'd probably eat Saitama. There's an AU where he did eat Saitama, but it's not canon, so... And I'm pretty sure that Monster was a full strength build. Monster himself is a regeneration build, obviously, but Deadpool is his main. He uses Deadpool's ultimate all the time. Superman is our last character. Can Monster beat Superman? Are we talking about comic book Superman, or are we talking about like modern Superman? Because he can beat both, but it would take a while. Monster would probably get tired and have to do interval fighting, since Superman is not, you know, he's not immortal or anything, like Cartoon Cat would be, or Goku could just be wished back to life, or something like that. So, if we're giving Superman all his powers, and he can make mini and like rainbows and stuff like that. And yes, those are actual powers in the comics. Like, you don't believe me? Look it up. Probably take about an hour for a monster to fight him, so it wouldn't last too long, but it would last long enough to tire a monster out. So a monster wouldn't want to fight very long. So the main enemies Monster would have is Superman, Goku, Superman, and Cartoon Cat, in that order. Cartoon Cat, because Monster can just avoid that anyway. Cartoon Cat tracks you. Okay, well, Monster doesn't. I mean, he can just regenerate somewhere else using his atomic reconstruction. See, the last thing you want to do when it comes to Monster is hurt his pet basket, because he goes sicko mode, right? Dang. Yeah, so it'd take Monster about an hour to kill Superman. It'd take Monster about 20 minutes at the most to kill Doomslayer. It would take Monster about 10 minutes to kill Saitama. And that's just because Saitama doesn't have really any weapons that can damage Monster. It'd take Monster about 10 to 15 minutes to kill the Shin Godzilla or Bloodbath Godzilla. Those. It'd take Monster. I've heard people ask about Monster versus Discord, like from My Little Pony too. Discord is a chaos god basically, so Monster would have some time. He might not actually be able to kill Discord, but he would definitely tire Discord out, because I mean we've seen that Discord can not necessarily get tired, but his magic can be screwed with. Bro, my stuff ain't loaded in yet. Hold on, chill. Yo, chill. I'll do with you in a second, bro. Chill. But yeah, those are Monster's like abilities and who he would be able to destroy, stuff like that. Monster could not kill Goku. I did not even see that until it was too late. I got my Sith Saber, I'm happy. But yeah, that's probably where I'm gonna end the stream. I mean, if y'all want to know if Monster could defeat any other kind of characters, I will do some research on them. Like, it doesn't matter like if it's like a famous character or like a hard to find character. I'll figure it out. I'll figure that out for you, bro. And I will. Alright, you wanna play that game? Got you with the back shot. Stay. I'm gonna finish this royale and then I will end the stream. Yeet. Yeet. Hey, bro. What? Give me this one back. I want this one. I like eating. Stream's about over an hour long now. Okay. Where is everybody up in here? Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Where is everybody? Everybody's probably over here, huh? Of course. Great. No, that's what I wanted, actually. To be just caught up in the middle of the open. Like this. Nope. Where's that coming from? Yo, chill with that. Ah, screw it. Two is good enough for me. Thank you for watching.